if you put that camera in there, you see how it says probably silicone? That means it's an electronic component. And it's not unusual to find that in the posterior ear area.
So wait, I got a higher reading than him?
No, his was higher than yours.
Okay,
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, but you did get a positive reading there. So you are getting at the base of the neck is what we typically see. Scapula area.
You got him too, buddy.
And the lower lumbar.
Got us.
And again, what we're finding is after post-COVID, this is very typical. We're completely bombarded by this stuff. And again, it says silicone-based. The apex. And the abdomen. And again, silicone-based.
So, what does that say? Comparable or less?
Well, you know what, if we were to do a thorough exam, which takes a little bit longer, we would want to do the RF scan with the JM20 Pro first. Then we would come back with the frequency reader to obtain the numerical frequencies that we're detecting, and that would complete the whole process.
You gonna bring that next time you come?
So why do you find over and over, he showed it earlier, why do you find soldiers have this particular pattern? We don't know?
Don't know. All we can say is that we can typically see what that pattern's based on the study. I don't have to know anything about the person. I can look at the profile and say, well, this is probably a soldier, or this is probably someone who was
And what are you finding with the State Department and CIA folks you scanned?
Very typical of what we would find on a soldier.
Well, this sounds alien to me. Sean Johnson, great guest you got on. Thanks for, I already knew who he was. I don't know why I didn't get him on.
Yeah,
what was it like when you had him on your podcast? Comes out in a few days, and he scans you, already shows you maps, and then boom, it's exactly where he said it would be in a soldier.
Yeah, I'd like to say I was shocked, but I really wasn't. So if I find somebody that's very interesting, then I can bring him on. So when Jesse came on and he's like, hey, I bet you got some RF signals on you, I was like, probably. I remember when I was in the teams, they had us swallow this capsule that had some sort of electronic monitor in it. And basically what that was used for, or at least what we were told it was used for, is to monitor our core temperature, because we were exposed to such cold temperatures that they would basically take us out of the water every so often, have us get in a long line and measure the temperature in our stomachs to make sure that we weren't about to.
And this is 20 years ago, and you're passing the teams.
No, this is like when I was going through training to become a Navy SEAL.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. So this was back in 2009, 2010 timeframe. But at the time you believe them and you do what you're told. You're in the military. But I always wondered.
Well, they don't know either. They're just,
I always wondered, did I shit that thing out? I don't remember shitting it out. Like, is that thing still in me? Was that the only thing it was used for? And so when Jesse said that, I said, but I was surprised when he scanned me that I had so many of these across my body.
And they do it through injections now. That's how they're there.
Apparently. I don't know when I was injected, but I know I used to go to the dentist through the VA, through the military. We would have to go once a year to go to the dentist, and obviously they would put you under if you needed to get something done. Who knows? But it's scary stuff. And it's even more scary, like Jesse touched on it, this Trojan horse thing. Like when he started talking about them introducing these nano robots into our system via vaccine, I was like, yes, I didn't take the vaccine, I'm safe. But then Jesse tells me, he goes, no. They were actually using it with the nose swabs. So even if you chose not to get the vaccine, the nose swabs were the Trojan horses. So they still introduced them to your system, and it went straight through the blood-brain barrier.
And it was creating the connection, the hydrogel.
The hydrogel.
Yeah. So like it was the perfect storm for them to introduce that across the entire planet.
So tell us what's happening here.
So typically what we generally do is use the RF detector, and we'll find those locations where we're detecting an RF emission. And then we'll come with what's another device that emits a frequency, basically a Wi-Fi frequency around 2.4 hertz. But it's designed to detect semiconductor material. So any electronic component and very, very small size. What it'll do, it'll send out a harmonic to identify whether there's something there. And it can be on or off. If it identifies it, it will turn it on. With that harmonic, a secondary harmonic will read it, and then we'll see whether or not it's electronic in nature, or a third harmonic, which means it's corrosive or a type of metal. All righty. Yep, right there's fine. And so what we'll do, so this will even pick up, if your key fob is in you, we'll be able to pick up. Go ahead.
I got nothing on me.
Yeah, keep your eyes closed.
Picking up on his temples like you did.
So that is a second harmonic, which means there's some type of semiconductor detection there. And this.
And you said it's soldiers all the time. Most people, nothing happens.
Yeah. And then on the left side, so the patterns that we pick up on him are very typical of what we would see in the soldier. The right and left TMJ.
Which matches the map we put out 5 years ago.
Correct. The right and left apex, the abdominal area. Yeah, and again, it's only second harmonic, so it's nothing metallic or anything like a nail that he got when he was a child. And this is how we were able to locate the exact areas to check the hips. And it's a little bit lighter signal there, but still second harmonic, which means that that's what.
You have different maps you put out years ago showing the different groups you do. You do this with pure research.
Correct. And then if we go to the back, the base of his neck will light up. The back of the head, and usually the scapula area.
That's a brainstem.
Correct. So this nanomaterial will assemble at high density nerve endings in the human body. And that's why we're detecting them in the areas that we're seeing on him. So, but that is very typical.
Saying you're talking to high-level people, what do they think?
Well, I've spoken to high-level people, and you know, I'm very left-brained. There is this phenomena where people say they've been abducted by aliens, and Dr. Lear is very famous for pulling out implants, and they've said they were alien implants. But the bottom line is, all of these implants that were pulled out can be identified and traced back to some type of bio research company.
Because they're usually human coded.
Yeah, and then there's the phenomenon where you talk about people who believe they've been abducted by the military and they have these implants put in them. Same thing, they're always identifiable. And then we have the civilian population. Currently, I have 6 cases that we have medical imagery and all of the basis that they have a foreign body in them, and legally we can only say for whatever reason there is a foreign body based on these images. When we use this equipment, all we can say, for example, here is that for whatever reason we're finding a frequency at very specific focal areas on the human body. When you use the secondary device, then it's detecting a semiconductor. That leads you more evidence that there's a high probability that there's something there.
So we know there's all the patents. We know what's going on. We know the COVID shots. We're growing this stuff in people with the graphene oxide. What's happening there?
So if you have the larger tech in you, you're lucky, because that can be identified and surgically removed, sent to a lab, and usually all of these things will have some type of serial number. Because
you said that's pre-2015.
Correct, yeah. Now we're dealing with nano. And so we were a little disheartened and discouraged and saying, well, what do we do about this now? There is a product out there, and this has been peer-reviewed and studied, and it's naturally sourced high-grade zeolite. And we have a lot of these victims who are taking this and having some significant results in the decrease in the amount of symptoms that they're having.
What does zeolite do to the...
Yeah, so zeolite is a product that is, you can find it in blue zones. Usually there has to be some type of volcanic activity which meshes with the diatomaceous earth and the ocean, and it creates this compound called zeolite. And it's negatively charged, and it's one of the only few natural substances that you can take, and it will bind with the graphene oxide. And so they've done control studies with this product, and after about 90 days, they see a significant decrease in the graphene oxide.
We got to put that out, because I know zeolite's good for it anyways. Zeolite nanotech detox.
Well, it not only does it take the graphene oxide, it takes a lot of these poisonous metals that we're constantly being subjected to.
So it's a chelator.
Correct, yeah.
Well, in closing, Sean, amazing information with Jesse Beltran. We know this is going on with the patent. We need to get ahead of this, be aware of this, because this is out of control.
And so it's great that we have people like Jesse that become subject matter experts on topics that we can like really bring them in and let your viewers understand what's going on out there.
Well, since you mentioned it, I'll get to it tomorrow now. Literal Bill Gates, a UN document, taking control of the World ID, all the systems you're talking about, giving each person a biometric number, tagging us. It's all in the patents, everything you're saying.
Yeah, no, it is. It's all true. And if you're interested in the zeolite, you can go to our website, look under services, and you'll find it there if you'd like to take a look at it. We're very open about everything we do and transparent. We don't say anything without evidence. You can also look at the studies on how that could help.
Yeah, I'm going to start taking that too. Jesse's going to send me some of that zeolite here as soon as he gets home, and I'll start taking it. So follow me if you want to keep up, and I'll let you know if I notice anything.
Yeah, zeolite's been a great detox forever.
Yeah, and that particular product, which is highly, I mean, it's the highest grade zeolite you can. It's I'm good friends with the creator of it, and it's called Masterpiece. And so if you can get the Masterpiece product, I highly encourage you to do that. All of the victims that, a large majority of them that come to me are taking it, and we are seeing significant improvement.
Well, regardless, all of this AI, all this is killing us.
Correct.
And people need to have a debate about this, need to know about it. But obviously, these corporations want to get way ahead of things, like the Pentagon put out the COVID shot. It didn't come out of China. It came out of North Carolina. And this is part of a larger project to put nodes into people for this tracking system.
Yeah, this is the mark of the beast. And that's what everyone needs to understand. So